Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a shark rig that we use here locally, Southwest Florida. My name's Claude. This is Chris. Welcome to the channel. I'm kind of out of frame.
Yeah, he's got a bit, yeah.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave a comment. We live in Cape Coral, Florida, but we fish along Sanibel Island, Captiva, Charlotte Harbor.
Southwest Florida.
Yeah, Southwest Florida.
Sometimes out of Boca Grande, world famous Boca Grande.
We have a very, very, very healthy shark population locally.
Yeah.
Very healthy.
Not too many people like them too much. We say steal your fish.
Yeah.
But they're fun to catch. So for our setup, we have number 18 wire, single strand steel. That is 325 pound test strength. So that's what I like to use. We're gonna do a rig that you cast from, not a deployable rig. So to start with, I take a section on my steel wire, not about like a foot and a half maybe. Then don't cut the wire, twist it. If you cut it, it's gonna cut you. So if you twist it, it's not sharp. So you gotta just keep bending it back and forth until it snaps. Sometimes it can take a while. There we go. So look, that's not sharp at all. So you're not going to cut yourself on it once you bring it in. We also have size 2.0 swivels, 550 pound test. This is Pro brand, Sports Professionals. You can get 5 for $5, which is pretty good, not too bad. And so that's going to go one end of the steel leader. And on the other side, Chris will show you.
It's going to be a 10-aught hook. For shark fishing, they cannot be offset. It has to be a circle hook.
No J hooks.
No J hooks, yeah.
Just circle. So that's going to go on one end, and you're going to have your swivel on the other end. So I always start on the swivel end, so I don't want the hook flying around, hitting me in the head while I'm trying to tie it. So just put your swivel through. So this is 18 gauge wire. So it's a bit fiddly. The thicker the wire, the harder it is to tie. We're going to be doing a Haywire Twist. So if you want to help yourself out, you can get pliers. You can hold the end on the pliers like that. And to do the Haywire Twist, to start with, you got to twist the wire on itself. So normally get a good amount of twist. So this stops it from sliding and coming loose. If you just twist one around the other, then it's going to slip and the shark's going to get away. So let me show you a little bit. This is the most important part of tying the Haywire Twist. Make sure they're interlinked. And once you have them interlinked, you can start doing one around the other. You can probably get around 3 twists on there. For smaller sharks, you can use smaller wire. It's not so hard on your thumb. It's a bit easier to twist. So I like to do a few just to make double sure. So that's what it looks like. So you can see that on the camera. Then again, don't cut it off, just keep twisting it back and forth until it snaps.
And if you do cut it off, it can actually go into your skin.
Yeah, it will
They're
slice
sharp.
it. Doing it like this, make sure it doesn't cut you. Just keep going back and forth, and eventually it will snap off. Do it just like that, so the piece snaps off, and it's left with a smooth Haywire Twist. So nothing sharp, nothing stabs you. Perfect. Then you do the same on the other end, the hook end. So that's why I do the swivel first, because now this is gonna flap around a little bit. So you don't want the hook flying around, hooking yourself, ruining your day. So you just have a little bit through the eye. Make sure you have enough so you can do your twist. I like to just bend it in half first. again, grab it with the pliers. A little bit fiddly. Just grab the end with the pliers like that. And again, the important part is getting nice, tight haywire twist. Just keep twisting it around itself. Then again, nice tight twist, just like that. Then get a few single twists with one piece around the other piece. Try and keep it tight so it doesn't slip. So again, it can be fiddly with thicker wire. I like to use single strand so you don't need crimps. If you're using cable, then you need to crimp it all. It saves a little bit of money and time. And again, just like that. I don't know if you can see on there. And again, just the end piece, just bend back and forth. And it should just snap off. A nice, clean haywire twist. There we go.
And the whole purpose of the steel is so that way, when the shark bites the hook, this part of the steel is going to be rubbing against the side of its face. And again, their skin is literally like sandpaper. It'll rub right through any kind of like line.
If you just use mono, then you're pretty likely to be cut off unless you're lucky and you get a perfect hook set. But you normally always need steel leader.
Yeah.
And so that's one end. So imagine this is the rod end. So that's going to be coming out the tip of the rod. That's going to come out from the top eye. This is a 100-pound mono. So this is for abrasion resistant. So whenever the shark rubs his skin, if you just use a braid, it's going to snap. The braid's going to get all chafed up and snap. The mono takes a lot more resistance and abrasion. So I got a sliding weight with a grip weight on here. So I just slide that onto there. So that's going to be sliding free. So when the shark picks up the bait, it can pull the bait without the weight of the hook. So then you just tie this to the end, the swivel end. So knot I got taught when I was younger. So you just take the main line, tie 3 loops around the main line. 1, 2, 3. Then come back up through the bottom under the line and pull that tight. If you don't want to bite the line, you can use pliers, but that's how it is. So it's just tight on there. Then you always want to leave a tag end. Do you know where the scissors went?
Yeah, right.
Always leave a bit of a tag end because when the shark pulls it, you don't want the knot to slip. So I always leave a little bit sticking out. So again, that's a 100-pound mono. And that's our setup. So I normally I got a 12-foot rod. So I have at least maybe 16 foot of mono. I have it going all the way down to the reel and 1 loop around the reel. That gives you enough line to cast out, cover the whole shark's body if it wants to twist the line. And if you do anything longer, it's harder to cast with the thicker line. So all you got to do is cast that out. As you reel in, the weight is going to set in the sand or whatever you're fishing. So it's going to set like that. You're going to have your bait on this side. So as soon as the shark picks it up, let him run with it for a little bit. Give him maybe 20 seconds, 15-20 seconds just to eat the bait. Then with the circle hooks, you don't need to set the hook, you just reel in. With this, the circle hook's going to set itself. So as you reel in with the circle hook, more than likely it's going to hook the side of the mouth. So against Florida law, you can't use the J hooks because then you gut hook a lot of the fish. and the fish end up dying.
It has to be a circle hook, non-offset.
And that's my main setup. So I got a. This is for casting out, not for kayaking. This is casting out rig. So that's nice and strong. I've never had a knot pull before. So the knot's always strong. The cable's strong. I never had a break. And so yeah, I use a 10,500 pen slammer on a 12-foot pen battalion rod, and that casts 6 to 12 ounces.
Yeah, we normally fish at night, and a good tip that he does that I learned from him is we get little glow sticks. Get them off Amazon. They're like dirt cheap.
They're cheap, yeah.
And we just snap them, hang them on top of the last eye of the pole, put them in the rod holders, and then you start to see that thing bounce and they'll fall off. So that way if you have a bunch set up across the beach, you don't have to stand by all of them. You'll actually see the light start to bounce a little bit when something's playing with it.
Make sure you have your drag loose as well. You don't want your rod flying in the water.
I've seen that happen.
You can hear your drag going off when they come. And I got some good rod holders as well. If you want to grab one quick. So I used to use a PVC rod holders with a little aluminium or aluminum, however you want to say it.
The right way,
but but if you have a big fish or big shark, in some cases it snaps. So you got to chase your rod down the beach. So I went to these. This is about a 3-foot rod holder from Fish and Mate. So it's got some foot pegs, so you can stand it down into the sand, push it down, it makes it a lot easier. And this thing's sturdy, so it's not going to break. So I always use these. I got a load of these, and if you want, they got a measurement on the side. Don't really use it too much; it kind of gets worn away. But the rod holders are really sturdy. So that's my main setup. And here where we fish, we get bycatchers as well. So some of the bycatchers are sawfish. They're endangered species. So normally when we catch them, you can't take them out of the water. You have to try and take them off as close as you can to the hook without getting injured. Yeah, they're dangerous fish.
Very dangerous.
So they swing the rostrum around, and you don't want to be hit by that. It's going to hurt a lot. So when you're shark fishing as well, make sure you follow the laws. Here in Florida, you got to do a land-based shark course. It's free to take on FWC. And they give you different laws you have to follow. Like some species you can't remove from the water, like lemon sharks, they have to remain in the water. Sandbars, they have to remain in the water as well. Bull sharks and sand sharks you can keep. Bull sharks have to be over 54 inches to the fork. And black tips, well, we have a lot around here, they don't have any regulations.
And they're good eating.
I think you can keep one, but there's no size regulations. So another thing when you're shark fishing as well is, where's a D-hooker? You want to use a D-hooker. So this keeps your hands safe from getting bitten. Keep all your fingers, keep your hands. So if one person keeps tension from the rod end, they keep tension on this side, this goes around the line to the hook, and you can pull the hook out without getting injured. And another regulation here in Florida is you need bolt cutters. So if you're targeting sharks, you need to have bolt cutters, just in case you can't get the hook out, so you can just cut the hook. So try to leave as little damage to the fish or any rigs or anything still attached. So when you're fighting sharks as well, try and bring them in as quick as possible. They build up a lot of lactic acid when you're fighting them, and it wears them out a lot. So when you fight them, try to get them in quickly and release them quick again.
Yeah, lately there's been a lot of sharks washing up on beaches. There was a hammerhead that washed up not too long ago. It was gut hooked. It died, washed up on the beach. They had a great white wash up this early winter, and I believe the panhandle, same thing.
I think so.
Yeah. It had wire leaders sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah,
so I mean,
don't waste time trying to take pictures of the fish on the beach. Just
let them go.
If you can, just record the whole thing and get pictures from the recordings. Just try and release them as quick as possible.
Because I know shark fishing, most piers in South Florida are illegal to do from piers. So we don't want them to make it illegal to do from the beaches.
And try not to get a bad reputation fishing like next to swimmers and getting complaints, a lot of complaints.
You see that a lot. Broad daylight, 12 o'clock, families on the water, people kayaking, hold jacks out. I mean,
people brings a bad name to shark fishing. And if you get too many complaints, they're going to end up trying to ban it. And no one wants shark fishing banned. Yeah, that's our setup for shark fishing. We'll try and head out one of these nights. We get live, get a video out while we're shark fishing, see if we get anything. At the moment, there's a lot of bull sharks around and black tips. So I want to get one keeper bull shark. So if we do that, we do like catch and cook. We do a clean. But never kept one. I normally always release them, but I've always wanted to keep one. We kept we caught a nice one when my cousin came to visit from England, but we ended up releasing it. But the next one hopefully will be a keeper. We catch, clean, and cook. So never filleted a shark before, so it'll be interesting. Be good.
Yeah.
Try something new.
No. Touch base with everything.
If you guys have any questions, just leave comments.